We're back in the video, NHL News Supports. I want to talk about the Canadiens and their future here and why it's so bright between the forwards, defense, goaltending. I was just going to talk about the goaltending, but I really want to talk about the whole team in general. I haven't really talked about them to start the season. Usually I do, so I thought let's just talk about the Canadiens, see where we are here with the team. So right now, the Habs have about 1.6 million in cap space. That might change at the deadline. Maybe a little bit more cap space. There's probably be a little settlers to continue the vision the Habs have of young guys developing and becoming a really solid team in the future. So just to look at what we have, a lot of guys are injured too. 7 guys, but there's still a lot of development going on, and really good to see here. Starting off with the captain, Nick Suzuki. He's solid. Great two-way center, and he's just a really solid leader, and follows by, has people follow him. And great example for sure. Cole Caulfield, great shot he has. That shot is fantastic, NHL level, elite shot he has, and he's locked up for 8 years. So, you're going to be seeing a lot more Cole Caulfield. And the more goals, love to see. I like to see a little bit more 5-on-5 goals. We've seen a lot in the overtime, on the power play, scoring goals, but more 5-on-5 would be nice to see. And I think he knows that too, that he needs to score more 5-on-5. Brendan Gallagher has really come out after the last couple of years, kind of not doing the best. Looking at that contract he signed, $6.5 million, but this year he's looked really good, different, I think, because a lot of injuries have really killed him, basically, and now he's kind of been, the first time healthy, he's actually playing really solid, and it's the Gallagher we know, the Gallagher that got that $6.5 million, so it's really good to see him bounce back this year. Surprised, because so many things have happened to him the last couple of years, but good to see him back where he is used to. Josh Anderson scores his first of the season last night on an empty netter, but he's getting a lot of chances. Great skater, he's fast. He brings the crowd out of their seats a little, with his ability to skate. He's just a really good player. He's 29, 4 years left on a deal. He's a good leader there too in Montreal. Christian Dvorak, he's 27. He has 2 years left on a deal. Dvorak's a two-way center. He played a lot better in Arizona, and then when the Habs traded for him because when Philip Deneau and Jesperi Kotkaniemi gone in the offseason, they needed someone down the middle, and Dvorak seemed like that perfect fit two-way center, but really hasn't panned out. I'm not gonna blame too much on him because I feel like Dvorak came into the season, started the season on a rebuilding team. That was the worst year the Habs had. And then the whole new management came in after that. And, the Habs had a lot of things going wrong for them at that point. And injuries happened with Dvorak too. So, more consistent Dvorak would be cool. To raise his trade level would be nice. But he is talented. He does have some talent for sure. Yoel Armia has been a little bit better lately after being sent down to Laval, being brought back up to the Habs here. Playing, getting a couple goals the last couple games. Good to see. Kind of a streaky guy. You might see a couple goals here and there, and then he goes cold, right? So we'll see how Armia does as maybe a couple guys come back. You put back on the waivers, but that's what we have for sure. Tanner Pearson, he's been solid from Vancouver with that Casey DeSmith trade, not bad. He could be a guy we can trade at the deadline, of someone who looked like he could have had his career ended with his hand surgery, but he is back and he's playing some solid games there for the Montreal Canadiens. Sean Monahan is another one. Last year on a deal, he signed a 1-year deal after a disappointing year last year. Great start, but then, things weren't going too well injury-wise for him, and it was just too bad. So he said, you know what? Since I couldn't play much for the Habs, he said, I'm going to sign another 1-year deal with the Habs and show them that who I am. So it was great to see him back. in a Habs uniform, and he plays solid. He got his ninth of the season last night, and pretty good, eighth and ninth. All right, moving on now to Jake Evans. He's a solid bottom six center. The Habs have drafted him. He's around 28 years old now, right? Is he 28, 27? He's a good third, fourth liner. I like him, but maybe he gets traded at the deadline. I could see that. They could get maybe a third round pick for him, third, fourth round pick. Not saying they should trade him. He's on a really good deal at $1.7 million for the next, this year and then next year. So he's not like a guy you want to trade, but if they get a good deal for him, I would say accept it. Yuri Savkovsky has played a lot better lately, really playing. He's been really jumping in on plays, making some great plays, trying to finish plays. I like to see him shoot a little bit more. I see him doing a lot better now, shooting the puck. He's passing, but you need to shoot the puck too to get some goals. I want to see that a little bit more from him, but he's really good, doing a good job. Even last night in Seattle, did a really solid job. He has a great shot too, and he can move around. He's just an electric guy of what he can do on the ice. Michael Pezzetta, he's out there, nice bottom six guy, signed a 2-year deal. That's a solid deal for Pezzetta, and we'll see how he does as he continues. But he's just a solid bottom six guy. Good to have on such a good deal. And then you have Mitchell Stevens. He just got called up from Laval. Mitchell Stevens is the guy, fourth line, AHL guy, kind of in the middle there, right? Kind of has some experience at 26 years old now in the pro level. And you have Jesse Ullinen. And Jesse Ullinen, he has a really good shot. He has some great hands, too. If you watch the shootout winner against, who was against? Someone. Was it Vegas? No, it wasn't Vegas. I can't think of who it was, but it was really good. Maybe it was Vegas, but just a really good play in the shootout. We saw couple goals from him, just stick handling, really solid. I like to see him shoot more that one timer on the left side, like a Caulfield shot. He has that shot. I like to see a little bit more of that. Would be really nice to see. And then moving on to injury reserve here for some other guys. Alex Newhook has a high ankle sprain, out 8 to 10 weeks. He's a speedy guy on the smaller side, but he has some speed, can score. Great top 9 guy, top 6, and good to have him for sure. Raphael Harvey-Pinard is another guy. He's a solid middle 6 guy for the Habs. Really solid, drafted him. Local guy too. And Kirby Dach played a game in a period after getting his MCL and ACL torn from that hit. In that second game against the Blackhawks, it was so terrible to see that because he played so well in the preseason because he was so ready to dominate and have a really good season. But it's just too bad for his injury and his history of injury history. But he should be ready for next year, hopefully, right? All right, now moving on to our defense, just looking at our defense here. Mike Matheson is one of the best Habs defense out here. Just a great skater, moves the puck really well, has his skating edge, his edge work is really solid. He's on the first Habs power play too, and he moves the puck really solid, like I said. 3 years left on a $4.8 million deal. Really good deal at 29 years old. This is probably one of the best hockey he's been playing in his career. You also have Gustav Lindstrom. He's a solid third pairing guy. More of a defensive guy than anything. Has a couple goals this year with the Habs. Good to see that. Jumping up on the play. Good to see that happening for him. He's 25. We got him from not from the Habs. From the Red Wings for Jeff Petrie. And, hey, try him out. See how he does. You can always sign him, right? We sign him. He is an RFA. He is 25. Justin Barron is another guy. He's an RFA also. I like Barron. Has a great shot. He's working on his defense more. It looks a lot better. But he's always going to be that offensive-minded defenseman. You need those offensive guys. Moving the puck well. Has a great shot from the point. Really tries to get that offensive moving. I like to see a lot of that. And it's good to see him get up on the play some and move the puck. Get the puck to the net. And it's good to see that stuff for sure. Moving on to Jaden Struble, he was starting Laval, got called up, and he looked pretty solid. He's just a solid defenseman, man. In his own end, very solid defensively. When he was drafted in the NHL scouting combine with all the fitness stuff, he ranked #1 in fitness. He's a really strong guy, and could be a solid option for the Habs. And I always liked Struble ever since he was drafted and went to Northeast for the NCAA, so good stuff to see. Caden Gooley is probably the best Habs defenseman along with Mike Matheson. It's hard to believe he's only 21 years old, but he's just a solid defenseman. Gets up on the play too, just really smart, moving the puck. And yeah, he's just a really good player. That what he is. Then you have Matthias Norland, our offensive guy. Really solid preseason. He just got called off from Laval. Not too many points. He had like 2 points in 20 games. Want to see more of that. Want to see more offense, more, goals, more points from Matthias Norlinder, right? You see it's there. you definitely see it. It's there for sure. But we'll see how Norlinder does, as there's a lot of depth in the organization on defense. So he's really got to get a spot there if he's going to stay with the Habs. And then you have Jonathan Kovacevic. He's just a solid defenseman. He's a big guy. It's good to see. They claimed him off waivers a couple years ago from Winnipeg. And yeah, he's playing some good hockey. Got 2 years left on a deal. And he is 26, one of the older guys. And good to see him. He's doing really well. And the Habs liked him. And they got what probably better than they thought it would be. And looking at David Savard, he broke his hand, right, in Buffalo. So, and that incredible shift he had, blocking all those shots, and he broke his hand on that. But he's a solid defenseman, 2 years left at 3.5. He's from Montreal. And then you have Jordan Harris. He's a young defenseman. $1.4 million. He just signed that deal in the summer. And then you have Chris Weidman, who hasn't played this season. He's out indefinitely to finish up his time. So that's our defense. Pretty solid defense, right? And looking on the goalie seal, we have Samuel Montembeault. He's basically a #1 guy, starting to become that #1 guy. He has like a 276 goals against average, I believe, and like a 913 save percentage. Really solid numbers. He's been consistent with his numbers after being claimed off of waivers from Florida. Quite a bit. Quite a interesting waiver claim, isn't it? For sure. And then you have Jake Allen. He's been there for a little bit, several years with the Habs. He has 2 years left here at 3.85. He may be one of the guys who get traded. And you also have Caden Primo, who has 2 years left at $890,000. So we'll see what happens. One of the guys going to be traded. One of the guys are going to be gone. They don't really like this 3-goalie rotation. It's better to have 2 instead, because someone plays more than the other, and it's just, it's not good for the team, right? So we'll see what happens. I'm sure by the deadline we'll have a idea. I was saying more like Jake Allen will be traded. Then I heard more of Primo's going to be gone. But, what do you get for Primo? If you put him on waivers, someone will probably pick him up. But if you try to trade him, there might not be as much value as you wish there was, So we'll see what happens. He is 24, which is interesting. You don't want to just give up on him either. So that's the thing. So we'll see what happens for sure. And then looking at some prospects here, just to put out here in junior with the Kitchener Rangers, Philippe Michaud has been fantastic with the Rangers in Kitchener, Ontario. He's just been really good, stepping it up even more as next year he'll be playing in the pro level. So Philippe Michaud is a great player. Sean Farrell is playing in Laval Rocket. He's having a solid season along with Emil Heineman, who just came back from injury. He has a great shot. Hopefully he starts tearing it up like he did last year and then gets called up to the Habs. Owen Beck is having a really good season. Peterborough Pete's in the OHL. Really good for him. Really smart guy. Two-way center. Just really smart of a player. Riley Kidney's a solid guy in Laval. Xavier Simino is a really solid local guy. Very good to see that. Joshua Waugh scoring bunch of goals there. Yan Misak is a good two-way guy. You have Kandata, older guy there. Elias Anderson, guy's been around a little, trying to get himself up, in the NHL one day, trying to get himself there, you know. So you got some really good players here, for sure. Looking on defense, you have David Ronbacher playing in Switzerland. Just a really big, solid defenseman, right-handed defenseman. You have Logan Mailloux, who's a offensive-minded defenseman. Really good. Has a great shot. He's just developing in Laval. He'll be up there pretty soon with the Habs. Maybe by the end of the season, you'll see him getting some games. You'll love to see that. William Trudeau, he's 21. He's a good defenseman also. He's just a really good guy, and he surprised a lot of guys last year. No one really knew who he was, and really good season last year, and it continues this year. You have Albert Jacki, who actually plays with the Habs. He got sent to Laval for a loan. Really good. Stands up for his teammates. Really tough guy to deal with, too. So, that's what we have. And then Jacob Dobash, he's struggling with Laval, but it's his first year in pro. He came out of Ohio State from the NCAA. I won't put all the blame on him, but I believe he will be a solid goalie, and he'll be someone who continues to be really good. So we also have some guys in the prospect line in the NCAA, with Cam Fallow being the best goalie prospect we have right now, playing in Boston College, he got 12 wins of the season so far, really solid numbers. You have Quentin Miller, you have Ronkin in Russia, some really good goalies to see here. So good to see, and yeah. We have a lot of good players. And on defense, also, Cole Hudson, another best prospect that you have in the system. Just some really solid assets here. So we'll see what happens. And thanks for watching. And Shark News Reports. And I'll see you next video. Bye.